What's good, Austin? This is your host, Corey Tabor, the purpose partner and founder of Triple I Coaching, where we are informing, instructing, and inspiring you to fulfill your purpose. I am so excited to introduce our new podcast, What's Good, Austin, a podcast designed to highlight the good work that people are doing in our community. You know, I've lived in Austin for over 25 years since moving here from Abilene, Texas to attend the University of Texas. Hook 'em horns. I love our community, and I want you to know about many of the good things that are happening in our city. So many of our media outlets thrive on the challenging things that are happening in our city, like record-breaking homicides, a high population of residents experiencing homelessness, and the traffic. Let's not start talking about the traffic. With all the challenges we see on a daily basis, we need a hope shot, something that will inspire us to partner together to see the change we want to see in our city by being the change we want to see in our city. So I will be interviewing people who are doing good work in the business and nonprofit sectors, as well as in our education and faith communities. We might even interview a few celebrities because they tend to love Austin too. There's an often quoted slogan that says, "Keep Austin weird." Well, we're going to keep Austin winning by focusing on the good work we're seeing in our city. Now, I need you to go to your preferred podcast platform and subscribe to What's Good Austin. Then share this podcast with your friends, family members, coworkers, and your crazy cousins. Let's kick off 2022 with a bang. Focus on looking forward to seeing the journey that we can have together as we discover what is good in our city and partner together to make Austin even greater. Again, this is your host, Corey Tabor, the Purpose Partner. Until next time, remember to love your family, be a good neighbor, and make a deposit in someone else's life today. What's good, Austin? This is Corey Tabor, the founder and president of Triple I Coaching and the purpose partner here with What's Good, Austin, for this week of March the 25th, 2022. Man, so excited today to have my brother and friend Delbert Crawford, who is the founder and owner of CDL, of Changing Lane CDL School. He's going to talk to us a little bit about what he does today. Welcome to the show, Delbert.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Well, we start off with these rapid fire questions here, you know, just to get to know you a little bit. Tell me how long you've lived in Austin.
2013, since 2013.
Okay, so about 8 years or so. Okay, what brought you to Austin?
A change.
Okay.
I was running. I'm not gonna lie, I was running from something. So and I ran right into what I'm doing now. Ran right into my wife, and hey, I'm running from something. Ran into my wife, said, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" You know, rest is history. So
that's so cool. All right, so what do you love about Austin?
There's always something to do, whether it be with me and my wife, or you know, us as a family. Always something to do. You know, a lot of parks. I like that.
A lot of what?
Parks.
Oh, parks. Okay. I say a lot of bars. I'm like, yeah.
That's activities.
Yeah, I got you.
When I hunt, I fish, I do it all, man. So anything outdoors, I'm in. You got me. Hook, line, and sinker.
Awesome, man. Well, what's your favorite place to be in Austin?
Home.
Okay. Let's be at home. Okay, I feel you, man. You know, I was talking to Sean Hardiman, who runs Ball Hard Player Development. And he was saying, man, I love to be at home, man. I think people who do entrepreneurship, we create our homes as kind of like a sanctuary. We go out, we grind, we get the work done. And then when we come home, we can, you know, figuratively let our hair down and kind of chill out and just be all of who we are. So tell me, what's your favorite restaurant in Austin? Where do you like to go eat?
Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
And it's a chain.
Yeah, what do you like to get at Texas Roadhouse?
What do I get?
Yeah.
The chicken fried chicken with the loaded baked potato. You know, so everything. You know, the carrots, the sweet baby carrots. That's my go-to meal right there.
Got you, man. I always give me like a sirloin or a ribeye. I give me some. Sometimes I get sweet potatoes. Sometimes I get the mixed vegetables if I'm trying to be light. I always give me a good margarita or a whiskey. Wine I normally do with that too. Like I don't do wine a lot, but with a steak, I like a good wine. And then my kids love the rolls, man. I mean, we can eat that bread.
Who does love that butter? I don't know what's in that butter.
It's so good. Yeah, man. For real. Well, man, I'm so excited to you on the show because I think what you're doing with Changing Lane CDL School, man, is so strategic for our community in particular because you are creating an opportunity for people to be able to get a skill set that will allow them to earn a quality living while making a difference in our society, man. I mean, everything we need comes on a truck.
Pretty much.
So tell me how you got into trucking, man.
Well, I got into trucking because first off, I wanted to go to trucking. I had a smart mouth, which I still kind of do, but I got a little bit of trouble. Wanted to be with the in crowd. So I was in front of a judge. Judge said, "Miss Crawford, I know your dad." I'm like, when he said my dad's name, that's when I knew he knew. That's when I knew he knew my dad when he said my dad's name. So he gave me two choices: jail or the military. I said, trucking for 200, Alex. That was my exact words. He looked at me. He said, "Mr. Crawford, step into my chambers." He like, "Look, I'm trying to give you a chance." I said, "Well, I go to the military." So I went to the military, did my years, and got out. And I still want to do trucking. I enjoyed the military so much that the way I looked at it, people paid me to travel. I'm like, hey, this, I love this. People pay me to travel. So I went to school in Jackson, Mississippi, where I'm from, and the rest is history. Travel over 1.5 million miles. Been, you name it, I've probably been there. I've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of happy stuff, a lot of sad stuff, a lot of somber stuff. But everywhere you go, you don't meet a stranger. That's me. I don't meet a stranger when you're in the trucking industry. You always have a family. So when I met my wife, I was asking her, "Did you ever imagine being married to a trucker?" She said, "Never, ever, ever." I'm like, "Well, what'd you marry?" I thought I was gonna marry me a coach. Well, technically, I am kind of a coach because I'm the school director, so I coach people how to drive a truck. So Coach Delbert is here. So that's pretty much it.
That's cool. So tell me, what role has education played in your ability to start this company, grow this company in school? Yeah, tell me about that.
So education is huge in my family. My dad was a principal and a music teacher for over 30 years. My mom was a second grade teacher for over 30 years. My wife is in the education field. Her whole family is in the education field. As much as I wanted to not do education, I went to trucking, and guess where I am? Education. So education did play a big part simply because it taught me patience, because it takes a special individual to be in education. You have to work with different personalities. I was telling my wife the other day, she asked me, "What's the biggest challenge you ever overcome?" I said, "Well, different personalities. Each person is different. Being a trucker, you work by yourself, but being a trucker who actually sees over 150 students go through the program a year, that's a big difference from one personality to over 150 different personalities. You have to know how to maneuver around each one. So that's the biggest challenge. So in education, so that is how education has shaped me into getting to do this for other students.
Man, that's awesome. I wrote a book called Prioritize for Your Purpose, Ordering Your Life to Be Extraordinary. And we talk about discovering who you are. And one of the things we talk about is discovering your personality. Like that, all of us have a different personality. I do 4 assessments in this book. One, we deal with the Myers-Briggs Assessment, which focuses on extrovert versus introvert, intuitive thinking versus feeling, judging versus perceiving. We deal with the Enneagram, which deals with like your core longing, your core fear, your core desire. We deal with the Clifton Strengths, which looks at like 39 different types of strengths that you can have, and then it gets to the top 5 that you bring to the table. And then we do one that focuses on the DISC, which is like, are you kind of domineering? Are you more influential? Are you more of a steady person or a conscientious person? Then all of those things we're taking now, starting this April, we're going to release this copy of the book, Ordering Your Life to Be Extraordinary, the student edition, Prioritize for Your Purpose, where high school students and college students can start to look at how do I begin to discover, based on who I am, what I want to do. And the reason I bring it up is because I feel like what you're doing in trucking is a viable option for people who may not traditionally want to go to a 4-year school. You know, when I came out of school in '95, college was like the way you needed to go to get education, to get a job. But today, man, there are so many ways to make money, make a good living. I have a friend who runs a school with trades. Like, all he does is teach people of color how to get into the trades because we're underrepresented, but we're highly qualified. We do this stuff all the time. I'm not a trades guy. I mean, my wife builds, I cook. But in general, I think about people I went to school with who tried to go to college, and it was like, dude, you wasted time and money. But for somebody like who has a passion for travel, who loves the road, who really wants to do something where they can kind of be involved in something that's going to be lasting, have a significant impact long term, I feel like trucking is a legitimate option. What do you think?
I wholeheartedly agree. Trucking, I'm gonna be real honest with you, okay, Corey? Right. If you know what to do, I call a CDL $1 million license. In less than 10 years, you can make $1 million with that license.
Wow.
If you know how to work it right. Also, I know truck drivers that make more than doctors do. That's just cold, hard facts.
Wow.
That they literally make more than drivers. Hey, I even know a person that has a felony. They consider him a felon, criminal background. He lives in a mansion, not a mansion, a mansion. And all came from trucks. Simple as that. He doesn't have to look over his shoulder anymore again. For the law enforcement. Guess what? He's doing everything legit, and he employs nothing but felons that get out of prison. As simple as that, because they don't want to go back.
Right.
That's the reason why. That is the reason why. So that's pretty much it. Anybody had nurses come to my school. They got tired of nursing, so they come to my school. My oldest student was 74. My youngest student was 18. So
wow, that's cool.
I take $9 million if they got one.
Yeah. What do you wish you had known about the business you're in now when you started that you now know? What do you wish you had known when you started that you now know?
It's a lot. It is a lot. Be prepared to not sleep at night. It's the not knowing is what gets you. You want your students to succeed. But you, at the end of the day, you really can't do anything because they're their own individual. It's like you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
Right.
So it's just that. I want my students to do good, and I want them to be able to make a positive change in the community. But sometimes that's not what they don't see. They don't see what I see. They have a different view of what I see. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, they finally see what I've been trying to tell them. But have they seen it before? I believe my students will be further along than what they are. So simple as that. Experience. You gotta have experience. I have experience in this game. Whereas they don't have experience or very, very little experience. And I want to share it with them, but I can't because you have to go through things. In order to have a testimony, you have to have a test. And they haven't been through a test before. I've been through the test, plenty of tests. But they want the testimony without going through the test. And it's kind of hard to explain to them.
Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, you can't get a testimony without a test. You can't get a message without a mess. And I think what makes you relevant is whatever we've been through in life that has been challenging, that gives us credibility. Like my successes, okay, that's cool.
But it's the hard stuff I've been through that makes me relatable. It makes me credible. And it allows me to be able to relate to people. It kept me humble. It made me not judge people who, I grew up in an environment where we were taught to judge, treat people like they weren't as good as us. And it wasn't like even like we had money or nothing. It was more just kind of from a moral perspective or like a platitude perspective. I think, what I love about the industry you're in is you can give anybody an opportunity. And if they take it, the sky's the limit. Okay. Not even the sky's the limit. Like Michael Jordan said, the ceiling is the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the floor. Like you can really go. I mean, like I said, I'm talking to these clients now, man. They're like, dude, I'm about to buy my first truck. Get somebody to drive it. I want to make sure I get some reputable operators. And so, what's that?
That's the worst thing that someone could do when you buy a truck. Put someone else in it. Know your own vehicle first.
That's good advice. Tell us what to do, man.
Know your own.
Buy a truck. They need to buy it. They need to drive it themselves.
They need to drive it themselves because guess what? Excuse me. I have whatever this is. I have, and it's not COVID because I've taken a test. Prime example. You can come back on the screen.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Okay.
So, for example, Bob over here has a truck. He doesn't know anything about a truck. I know a lot of people buying trucks that don't know anything about trucking. This is like me buying a barbershop and I don't know the first thing about cutting hair. But you have Corey Tabor, that knows everything about trucking. He hires you and he gives you a gas card. I'm not saying you're going to do this, but Bob doesn't even know how much it takes to fill his truck up. Bob doesn't even know how much a gallon of diesel weighs. A gallon of diesel weighs 7.1 pounds. It's formulas to this thing. You could be out there selling diesel off his car. Hey. He wouldn't even know it. So that's why you need to know your own vehicle before you hire someone else. Oh, now, Corey, I know this truck takes so. This truck takes 300 gallons. It's gonna take 1,500 miles to go through that. So why do you have $10,000 worth of diesel in 1 week? What's going on?
That's good.
It's simple.
That's good.
Simple as that. That's not even all. That's just a tiny bit of it.
Yeah, they got to reach out to you, man. I'm telling everybody, man, y'all need to go to Change Your Lane School, CDL School at gmail.com. Reach out to Delbert if you're interested in getting into trucking. If you want to get your CDL license, y'all, it's a great time to do it now. Everything we need comes on a truck, So tell me, Delbert, what do you want your legacy to be? When you think about your life at the end of your life, what do you want your legacy to have been?
First off, don't throw me no fish fries.
Okay.
Don't do no GoFundMe. Don't do no.
Yeah.
First of all, get some life insurance. Everybody that's listening, get life insurance.
Yes.
Get life insurance. Trust me, my kids are set up for this life and the next. With life insurance. So my legacy, I want people to say that I did make a difference, and I feel like if I made a difference in one person's life, I've done my work.
Yeah.
A lot of students come to me and confide in me their personal issues. I used to be like, why are they coming to tell me? But then I figured it out. They trust me, and they need someone to talk to. I'm here, You want to tell me what's going on between you and your whatever going on? Hey, I may have a solution because guess what? I've probably been through that same thing that you're going through right now. Talk to someone. That's what I tell them. Talk to someone. But as far as my legacy, I want to change people's lives. That's changing lanes changes lives. I tell everybody that. Changing lanes changes lives because guess what? For example, I had one student that was not to knock the education industry, okay? Right. One student that was making $1,400 a month as a teacher's assistant. Now he's making $1,400 a week because he got a CDL.
Wow.
He's traveling. He's traveling.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is? I mean, that's You know what that does? He's home every day.
Wow.
Home in his bed. He's gone to Los Angeles, got stuck in the elevator in Los Angeles, so he said he ain't getting back in the elevator again. And then he went to New York. So he said his next on his bucket list is Chicago, then Miami. You know? Yeah. I said travel. He takes a trip every month or every 6 weeks. He takes a trip like a 4-day weekend trip.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
He couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell people all the time, man, you know, we have these PTO days with jobs, those of us who have jobs, and people don't take their PTO. It's like, dude, man, because if something happened to you, they're going to move on, bro. They going to move on fast. Like, literally, they will say, oh, man, we're going to miss them. And they're going to hire somebody else to do what you do. So balance what you work on to love your life, yeah?
I got one for you. Before your body is cold, they already have your replacement. That's facts. Yeah. That's facts. Facts of life. Yeah. But when you die before your body is cold, they already got your replacement. So why work yourself to death for someone else? Work yourself to death for your kids.
Right.
You and your wife and your kids. That's what I say. Tell everybody. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to get started. Working for someone else, get the experience, but work at the end of it. Work for yourself.
Right.
That's how the United States economy is. Over 50% of the economy is run by small businesses, entrepreneurs.
Exactly. Man, I'm in it, man. I'm in it, and I'm realizing, man, this is my heart, it's my passion, it's what I love to do, and it gives me the freedom to be able to love my family, take care of my family, buy my time back, you know, and be able to make a long-term difference. So, man, I'm so glad to have had you on the show today, man. I think you've done a great job communicating with our people about what CDL licensing can do for you, construction can do for you. I want to thank you, Delbert, for coming, man. Thank you for sharing the perspectives. And so I want to invite you all to share. I want to invite you to subscribe. I want to invite you to go follow Delbert on Facebook. Go to Change the Lane CDL school at gmail.com and take advantage of the opportunity. If you need to get your CDL, you need a chance to be able to grow your career. It's definitely an opportunity for you. Again, it's Corey Tabor, the Purpose Partner. Until next time, remember to love your family, be a good neighbor, and make it a positive in someone else's life today.